No clickbaiters. You can see the videos on the screen. We will play the story. Quick message. If you are considering letting someone move in with you that doesn't have anywhere to go, I would urge you to stand to the end. Also, if you are that person that doesn't have anywhere to go and you're expecting someone to let you live with them, I would suggest you to stand to the end. However, if you don't want to stand to the end, it's cool. The only thing I ask you to do is hit that like button before you leave. Just please hit the like button before you leave. And as always, I appreciate my day one supporters, as well as everybody that hits the like button out the gate. I already know y'all gonna hit that like button now. Y'all the real MVPs. Now let's get into this crazy tragic story.
Keith Brian Poole was born on August 31st, 1979 in Pompano Beach, Florida. His loved ones describes him as a dedicated father of 3 daughters, friend and music artist. He was a graduate of Flanagan High School. His love for his daughters was a central part of who he was. He always cheered them on and took immense pride in their lives and achievements. From sports to everyday life, he was very competitive. Fishing was one of his greatest passions. He found peace and joy in the simple act of casting a line and spending time in nature. Those moments by the water were special to him and they reflected his calm and patient spirit. He also had a deep love for dogs. Their companionship brought him immense happiness and he treated them with the same warmth and affection he showed to everyone in his life. They were a source of joy and comfort to him just as he was to them. He had a way of lighting up every room he walked into. His laughter, energy and zest for life made him the life of the party. He had a remarkable gift for making everyone around him feel happy and valued. His genuine kindness and infectious enthusiasm were truly one of a kind. In 2023, Keith allowed his daughter's 18-year-old boyfriend Lawan to move in with him and his family. Lawan lived with them for more than a year. On August 19, 2024, Keith confronted Lawan about a series of social media posts he deemed inappropriate.
Okay, we're gonna pause right there real quick. Just look at this. Now, I don't want to pass no judgment, but us people with big hearts, you got a big heart. Sometimes you got to work backwards. So what I mean by that is you got to put your feelings to the side and really think about everything that can go wrong and work your way back. Just invest. Now, I looked at the young man's social media page. Of course, you know, he's incarcerated now, so you didn't see much there. But just investigating like this, she shouldn't be like that. He throwing up gang signs. So if it's certain things you would have looked at that would have raised a red flag, but we'll get into more of that later.
One of the photos in question was of Lawan posing with a firearm, several of which were found on his Facebook page. The confrontation escalated into a heated argument in which Keith threatened to kick Lawan out from the home. After Keith informed him that he had to leave, he allegedly threatened to have his friends come over to take care of the situation.
Okay, we're gonna pause one more time real quick. For those of you that's looking for somewhere to go, those same friends that you would call to handle the business for you, that's who you should call when you're looking for somewhere to go. Ironically, the way life works, those people won't even answer your call. Or once you tell them the situation, they won't even answer your call. It's the people that you rarely talk to that you probably gonna start calling that you know got a good heart or what have you. But call those people. And you see like how this went. Instead of him, he want to call them for this, but when he needed somewhere to go, he didn't even, I'm pretty sure he didn't even think to reach out to them. Just sad. You have to look at all that. These people don't talk to you every day. Y'all barely talk. Y'all don't even know each other. And then they come looking for you at a time of need. Like, dang, where this person come from? But we'll get into more of this later.
As in kill for him. When Keith asked him once again to leave, that's when Lawan allegedly grabbed a handgun near the front door and fired at Keith, striking him twice. The Pompano Beach Fire Rescue responded to the scene and found Keith bleeding out from multiple gunshot wounds to the face and chest. He was rushed to Broward Health North where he died. Police said the shooting occurred in front of Keith's daughter and other family members. However, Lawan fled from the scene with Keith's daughter, leading to investigators conducting an extensive search for him.
Tonight, a father of 3 murdered, and loved ones say it was the boyfriend of one of his daughters who shot and killed him.
The victim's family is now worried after they say the boyfriend took off with the daughter.
CBS News Miami's Anna McAllister is at BSO headquarters with what loved ones are saying tonight.
Those who knew 44-year-old Keith Poole tell me he would do absolutely anything for his 3 daughters. In fact, I'm told that he took his oldest daughter's boyfriend in when he had nowhere else to go. The people who loved Keith Poole say he's the kind of guy who would do anything to help someone who needed it.
He was such a people person, like, and everybody loved him, and just like he would give the shirt off of his back for anybody. The last of a dying breed in today's world.
Bridget Donovan dated Poole on and off for more than a decade, and she says his personality was simply magnetic.
He was just very fun. He was outgoing. He lived by the moment.
But the father of three, who was adored by so many, would have his life tragically cut short. According to police, they received a call about a shooting on the 1500 block of Northeast 28th Street in Pompano Beach shortly before 5 p.m. on Monday. When officers arrived, they found Poole shot multiple times outside of his home. Donovan says his 17-year-old daughter's boyfriend is the one who pulled the trigger.
Her boyfriend, who also lived in the home with them, it was found out that he had a weapon in the home, and Keith told him that he had to leave. The kid walked out and said something about his friends being killers, and Keith said, you know, you can have whatever you have going on, but you got to get out of my house. Like, you can't stay here no more. And the boy pulled out the gun and shot him in the neck and chest.
Donovan says Poole took his daughter's boyfriend in after his parents died and treated him like a son. Now she says the boyfriend and Poole's daughter are missing and says the family fears for her life.
Nobody has contact with her. Nobody knows where she is. She's a minor, and we believe that she's in danger.
We're withholding the name of the daughter and her boyfriend as police continue this investigation. Anyone who has any information about this fatal shooting in Pompano Beach is asked to come forward. Remember, you can remain anonymous. But for now, reporting from BSO headquarters, Anna McAllister, CBS News, Miami.
2 days after the shooting, Lawan turned himself into the Broward County Sheriff's Office. He was booked on premeditated first-degree murder with a firearm without bond. Keith's daughter was also located safely.
A major crack in a murder case. A teen has turned himself in the murder of his girlfriend's father.
Now, the shooting happened Monday night, and NBC6's Lena Salzbank breaks down what we know about the 18-year-old's arrest.
This came after an exhaustive search by both detectives and the victim's family, who said that he ran off after that shooting and took his girlfriend with him.
On Wednesday, that search came to an end when 18-year-old Lawan Jones Jr. turned himself in and was charged with first-degree murder with a firearm. According to the Broward Sheriff's Office, Jones shot and killed 44-year-old Keith Poole outside of his home on Northeast 28th Street after witnesses say the two were arguing over social media posts. Family and friends tell NBC6 yesterday that Keith was a father of three.
He's really invested into his children.
And had taken in his oldest daughter's boyfriend, Lawan Jones, giving him a place to call home for over a year.
He lived with Keith and he lived with Jesse. He lost his parents some years back. He treated him like family.
Barbara Santiago says Jones shot Keith in front of his kids before taking off with his girlfriend.
We don't know the exact circumstances of how she left. We don't know if he was like, let's go. And just out of fear, she took off. I couldn't imagine what Jesse was feeling at the time. Fear.
Many of Keith's friends now taking to social media, remembering the 44-year-old for his kind heart. According to BSO, Keith's oldest daughter was located and is now back home and safe with her family.
Lawan Jones Jr. is being held without bond. We reached out to the victim's family for a comment. We're still waiting to hear back. For now, reporting in Fort Lauderdale, Lena Salzbank, NBC6 News.
All right, hit the like button if you have not hit the like button. Condolences to Keith's family, friends, loved one. He seems like a great guy. Seems like he was fun to be around. Seems like he had a big heart. And sometimes our big heart can get us in trouble. Oftentimes, because we think with it instead of our common sense. But condolences to him. He didn't do anything wrong. He's just trying to just help the young man out. That's all. And look at what happened. Very unfortunate. Now, the age is questionable, but condolences to all the family and friends. I pray for comfort and healing for you all, especially those children. And he also had a child on the way too, which makes it 1,000 times worse because the child will never meet the father. But I pray that the kids they find their way in life and become something great. Like the video if you have not liked the video. Now let's get into it. Young man, 18 years old. If you in your teens, man, these guns, they get access to them so easily now. Don't be walking around with no guns. And if you have to walk around with, if you with peers that's walking around with guns, you might need to question the people you around. your brain is undeveloped. So you don't even really know what you're doing. You're gonna make a bunch of mistakes with decisions that you are trying to make. So it's best not to even walk around with one. Also, if you plan on helping one of the youth of today, not saying we didn't have our own issues as youth. The difference between them and us is, well, some of us, because we had some pills too, but I don't think that many of us was itching to catch a body. I think with them, because of the music, they want to like do somebody in. So you have to be very careful with these little jokers. They want to catch a body. They ain't even thinking about the consequences of it either. They just like, I just want to catch a body. But anyways, when you have a big heart, you have to be very careful. Like I said, you got to work your way backwards. You got to think about everything that could go wrong, and then work your way backwards and come up with your conclusion. The last thing you want to do is think with your feelings, because most of the time it's gonna cost you, and it's gonna lead to coulda, woulda, shoulda. Now it may not be this extreme, but it would definitely lead to some coulda, woulda, shoulda. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Also, if you plan on letting somebody move in with you, you need to make sure that they have a plan. Also, you need to get them a short period of time, like 3 days. Also, make sure they don't have any mail coming to your home, none whatsoever. Don't allow that. The issue, even with giving them a short period of time, you got to know these people's character. You have to know their character. And this is kind of hard because you may have known them before, and they may have gone through some things or been around some other people to change the person you knew. So they may actually be, their personality and stuff may be altered. Well, their character may be altered. But you want to really know these people, because a lot of time when you put people into your home and you ask them to leave, that's where the issue come in at. Even if they've done something wrong, this is where the issue is going to come in at, because you got to remember they don't have anywhere to go. And it's going to be a very emotional moment when you ask them to leave, because it's so much going through their mind. Like, man, where am I going to go? This is the place I knew. Oh, man, other people may not accept me. It was hard for me to get here. It was hard for them to tell me yes. So where am I going to go? And if it is a confrontation, you might want to call the police, but it's still kind of because if the young man had guns, or the person you allow to your home to have guns, they may wait outside, and then when you trying to go somewhere, they may harm you. So shelter is the best choice. That's what I'm saying, because again, unless you know their character very well, you're taking a chance, because when you ask them to go, could be a problem. We don't know what their mindset is. We don't know if they get high. We don't know if they have guns. In this case, he did know that he had a weapon. So, and if you are going to allow them to stay there with you, make sure they have a plan in place, like a plan in place. And you also need to get a good backstory on what they were doing before they needed to move with you. Like, what happened? Something had to happen. Now, this case is kind of sketchy because he stayed with them for a year, but someone said that his parents died years back. So who had him before he stayed with them? You see what I'm saying? And another thing too is, why can't his other family allow him to stay with them? Like that's very questionable too. Like that's very questionable, or what have you. Now, his age, I understand why his friends' parents would want him to be there. They probably don't even want them to be there. They probably rushing for them to get out. But if they're adults, like, why can't they go to their family or what have you? Like, what's the issue there? Yeah, but you have to do your due diligence. Make sure you be prejudiced about the situation. Don't just be welcoming. Like, you need to check social media. You need to ask them their story in 4 or 5 different ways. Ask them what happened in 4 or 5 different ways. Ask them, have they asked other people what they say, and keep coming back to it. Just make sure they story check out. That's what I'm saying. You scramble everything up. Make sure that story check out or what have you before you just say yes. Understand what you're getting yourself into. Make sure your rules are solid if you're going to let them stay there. man, when they not there, look through their stuff. Definitely check their social media before you allow them in or what have you. Definitely, you got to do that. You got to do all your due diligence. Just don't go with your heart, because you can find yourself in a dangerous situation. And lastly, if you are the person that's out there and you need somewhere to go, man, listen, if a person tell you no, that's what it is. You got to understand, people don't really want you in their comfort like that. Even if they allow you to stay there, eventually they're gonna want you gone because you're breaking into their comfort. That's what you got to understand. Like, this is their everyday life. They like their everyday life. So they probably want you to go eventually. So you need to already have a plan, and don't feel bad. It's, if you had your spot, you probably wouldn't even let anybody stay with you or what have you. So be understanding, come up with a plan. Let them see you trying to get a job. Let them see you trying to save money. You tell them when you leaving and stick to it. You know, now, and I didn't say this before, but if they plan to live with you, like, what do they have? Do they have a job? Do they have a car? You know, did they just fall on hard times, or did they just piss off their life and just made a bunch of bad choices, and this is the result of it? So these are the type of things you had to ask yourself. And again, if somebody allows you the opportunity and the blessing to stay with them, you need to have a plan. You need to work, and you need to show them you serious. And if they tell you no, or they ask you to go, just leave. You understand? Just leave for whatever reason or what have you. But again, that's my take on that. Like the video if you had not liked the video. Condolences to the family. Drop your comments. I would love to hear what you all have to say about the story. Also, if I missed anything that can help anyone, please put it in the comment section. It doesn't matter if it comes from me or if it comes from you. It's just about helping people on this channel. Subscribe if you're into this type of content, and when you subscribe, hit that notification bell. Go back and watch some of the older videos if you like this one. I'm pretty sure you'll like those too. Hit the like button on those, comment on those. Share the video if you know some people that can benefit from it. I would greatly appreciate it. On that note, I am out. I appreciate you all. I do not take it for granted. Be blessed. Peace.